This video contains a lot of shocking things, so get ready for a jolt to the system. I'm your host Youssef, and these are 10 struck by lightning stories that will literally shock you. Make sure you subscribe and ring that bell to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Anyways, ka-chow. Number 10. This one comes from Glenn from New Jersey. My story was about my birthday turning 50. My wife and sons asked what I wanted for my birthday. My expected answer was a weekend on Long Beach Island, New Jersey. The town of Beach Haven is where my favorite hotel is. June 7th, 2012 was a beautiful beach day, so the four of us walked to the beach and set up our things for the day. As the day went on the west side of the island, we could all see a dark gray weather front approaching the area. We have seen this kind of weather many times over the years. As the front approached, we could see far west to the mainland of New Jersey, which was clear and beautifully blue. So we figured the front will be around 15 minutes as it passes. As the front was over us, it started to lightly rain. My wife and I tucked in under an umbrella, and my sons continued playing catch. The rain continued, and then it started to get windy, so I brought the umbrella down to block the wind. My wife and I were dry and blocked from the wind. We were happy knowing that this will be over in minutes. Well, no warning, no area thunder, a bolt of lightning blinded us like a flashbulb, hitting the umbrella I was holding. A sizzle boom, I call it. I felt the lightning travel through my left arm into my chest and then out my feet in the sand. I yelled some choice words. Panic set in, so we all ran off the beach. Left everything behind except car keys. Jumped in the van and drove back to the hotel. Number 9. This one comes from George from Cape Lookout. It was still pouring buckets of ice cold rain mixed with hail, but we were through the worst of it. Standing in a freezing slurry of several inches of accumulated hail, still getting blasted by more, I managed to get our side curtains down and resumed our course down Shackleford with lightning crashing all around us. With a couple of miles to go back to Rough Point at the entrance to Beaufort Inlet, I made a hard right turn, causing my wife to ask where the heck I was going. I'm getting close enough to see the beach, I replied. Cause if another one of those things gets us, I'm driving us on the beach and we're gonna run for it. As we got to the inlet, the front cleared the coast and it turned into a bluebird clear day. It wasn't long before I had the boat on the trailer and we were in the warmth of the truck heading home. As I dried out, I started to smell singed hair. Looking down, I noticed the burns on my left arm and a second burn on my left shin, a couple of inches above my ankle. Looking at my face in the rearview mirror, I gasped and pulled over, because the singed hair and red flash burns over the left side of my face told me what the hot flash I'd felt during the water sprout had been. Number 8. This one comes from Lindsay from Orlando, Florida. I was trying to seek shelter in the shark encounter outside the viewing area at a theme park because it had a large cover but was denied, so I went to stand under the shark feeder that happened to be next to the flagpole. Lightning struck the flagpole and then me. It came in through my left hand and exited out my right foot. I was taken to a hospital in Orlando, Florida. I was 24 years old and a mom studying to become a nurse when I was struck. I have suffered long-term issues including chronic severe pain, swelling in my lower extremities, heart problems, severe headaches, and fatigue. I don't know what life has in store for me, but it's 7 years later and I'm still in horrendous pain and doctors have no idea how to help me. Number 7. From Copenhagen, here's Johanna. I was on my way back from volunteering at a festival in Denmark when the weather turned wild. My friend, who's frightened of thunderstorms with reason apparently, experienced my ignorance. You never get struck by lightning. I got off the train in the middle of Copenhagen and considered myself quite safe considering that taller buildings were surrounding me and that it's a rare phenomenon to get in a large city. So I went to unlock my bike to start my journey home, not knowing that the second I stood up against the pylon my bike was locked against, the lightning would strike into the pylon. I experienced conduction, with the lightning traveling through the pylon, my bike, and then me. The seconds seemed like forever, and all I remember clearly is myself screaming very loudly, a power going through me, and being surrounded by intense white and purple colors. As if you were traveling in a spaceship faster than light. That's how crazy the colors looked. I didn't faint, luckily, otherwise my heart most likely would have stopped or I would have experienced heart problems. The shock you experience when something so unreal happens to you is indescribable, unfathomable, and you're overwhelmed with sadness, ridiculousness, confusion, laughter, and luck. I called the ambulance myself when my arm started to tingle, spasm, and tense up in unreal ways. Also seeing as I thought it would be safer to get checked by medical experts. Number 6, Natalie from Houston brought us this one. A few months ago here in Houston, Texas, I was indirectly hit by lightning. I was standing at my back door inside, the door was closed, but my hand was on the metal door frame when I was hit. I went to the emergency room via ambulance and didn't have burns, just bruises and chest pain and weakness on my right side of my body, which the jolt went through. I was released after being admitted for about 13 hours and was told I might have some late side effects, but never told what they would be. I've noticed the past few weeks I get random brain fog and memory loss. Like yesterday, I forgot the name of a song I had just learned how to play and how to actually play it. My husband had to show me a video of myself playing it in order for me to remember. Things like this keep happening. I was supposed to follow up with a neurologist, but with no insurance and over $30,000 in medical bills, I can't even afford to pay. It is not feasible. Number 5, from Morehead City, Anita had this to say about her experience. On July 2nd, 2016, about 5:30 p.m., I was sitting on my enclosed patio in Morehead City, NC, and lightning exploded right above me. Although not hit on my body, the impact has left me mostly deaf in my right ear, along with the sound of 1,000+ locusts. I've had an MRI and have been told there's nothing that can be done. I live with the loud locust sounds 24/7. Number 4, this one is from Michael from New Milford. I was hit on a hot summer day in July of 1965. I was 11 years old. A sudden thunderstorm was approaching during a baseball game at my grandfather's farm, and after a nearby strike, we began running towards the family house and underneath a large apple tree when a large bolt hit. The lightning hit the tree directly. The tree dried up and died by that fall. The strike knocked my 3 brothers and 2 cousins headlong to the ground, struck me directly, and then grounded through a large oak water barrel, causing it to explode. I was knocked unconscious and stopped breathing. My father fortunately had seen a TV show the week before on how to do CPR. It was 1965, and very few individuals at the time knew the procedure. I began breathing but remained unconscious till several hours later in the hospital. I have no apparent side effects, but my mother said I was never the same in some inexplicable fashion. Number 3, this is from Rachel from Sierra Nevada. I was swimming in Donner Lake in the Sierra Nevada. At the other end of the lake, 2.7 miles away, we saw clouds coming but didn't think much of it. I was treading water when all of a sudden, bam, and it felt like all my bones broke. A bolt had hit a boulder on the side of the lake and the current went through the water. My sister was with me and she described it as having all of her joints dislocated. We swam as fast as we could to the shore, but the swim seemed to take forever, like a nightmare. I was shaking afterwards, but thankfully we were fine. The people on the shore felt the shock too, but not as severely. They didn't seem to understand the terror and pain. Number 2, this is from Pam from Matagorda, Texas. I was deep sea fishing out in Matagorda, Texas in 2004. We were close to a rig when suddenly a storm came up. Lightning hit the rig and traveled through the water and up part of my left arm. My husband and others on the boat said I lit up. I looked back at my husband because I thought I would die. I now have an electrical problem in the left part of my heart as the outcome. Number 1, Justin from Woods Canyon, Arizona brings us our final story for today. I was struck on August 10th, 2014. I was fishing with my family at the lake. A monsoon storm came on really fast and it started hailing golf ball sized hail. My family ran to the truck while I stayed to gather a few items. I was getting pelted in the head, so I grabbed my canvas folding chairs and put it over my head. Took a step and heard a loud crack and boom. Next thing I knew, I was on my back with people all around me and rain pouring down. I was initially paralyzed from the waist down for about 6 hours. I was hit in the upper back and had 3 exit wounds on both feet. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd degree burns. I had 3 fractured vertebrae on my spine. Was in the burn unit for 3 days. I no longer work. I've got bad depression, anger issues, joint swelling, neuropathy, memory issues, word recall issues, and PTSD. Thanks for watching. Those were 10 struck by lightning stories that will literally shock you. Leave a like and comment if you think we missed anything, and we hope you have a scary day.